How are you again, guys? We're back at this CD 175 engine, and as you see, I've took the top off the valves section of it, and everything looks pretty decent in here. The oil was definitely getting to the top of the engine. So our next thing that we're going to do is we're going to open this kidney shaped piece here where all of the advanced timing is and the points, and we'll take all that out in order to get the camshaft out. So we have to get this chain off in order to be able to lift up the head and take it off. Okay, so that came off relatively simply, and this is what's under the cover. This is your points, your spark advance, and your points plate. Now, if you're ever doing an engine like this, before you remove anything, be very careful to mark. See the way there's a little nick there? Be very careful to mark that where that is, because that's your spark timing. And when you put it back together again, you want to get it close to where it was. So I'm going to make a little mark on the plate now, just to make sure that it lines up with that. And then when I put it back together, the timing shouldn't be too far out. So that's the next move. So you'll see on the camera there that I've scraped a good mark into that plate there to line up with the little notch on the casing before I take this off. So now I'll continue with taking it off. Okay, so you'll see I have taken the whole ignition system out of the head, and whenever you get that taken out, you then are able to remove the little posts that hold in the rocker arms. Now you have to be very careful when you're taking out the rocker arms and make sure that you write on them exactly where they have come from. You'll see that I have an RB here, which means right hand back one, because they all were in a certain way and you need to put them back in the exact same way as you took them out. You'll see that I've kept all the little screws here with this one. This is the plate for the other side without the ignition, and it goes on the left. So I'm going to put these in a bag now, and I'm going to label them, and I'll know where them pieces are. So you'll see now that I have got the cam out of the head, and I have tied the chain down. You have to make bloody well sure that that doesn't fall down in there, because if it does and you're not opening the bottom of part of the engine, you're going to have an awful handling on your hands, just to let you know. So these are your valves in here with your springs that the rockers push on to open. This is your cam where the chain goes over, and you'll see there's two wee lines on this, and sometimes there's a little circle. On this one there's two wee fine lines. Not too sure if the camera's picking that up there, but there's one of them there, and that'll be for your timing. So that's the cam taken out, and now I'm going to lift off the head for the big reveal. We'll see what we get. Okay, so we finally got the head off. This is the big reveal, and there was a serious amount of oil in between the head gasket and the head, and you can see just here underneath how much oil was getting underneath the head gasket. So I'm not too sure if the head gasket failed or if somehow the head managed to get loose, because the bolts weren't very tight whenever I went to undo it. But either ways, there was a serious amount of oil getting in under the head gasket here, and probably going into probably both barrels, to be honest. Mostly this side though. That's all I can tell, that's all I can say for now. Okay, so at this stage I've pulled the head off. I have pulled the barrels off, and you can see from the video here that the barrels are quite decent. I haven't wiped them yet. This is exactly the way they come out of the bike. There's not been many issues, there's no major scores. What else can I tell you about it? Give me a second. Those two seals that sit there for the oil seem to be okay. I took the head gasket off and I've been looking very closely at it, and I'm not seeing any major places where oil could have got through. Let's see how clean that is. I was cleaning at it earlier there, but when I took it off, I mean literally the whole top of the whole top of the sleeves and everything was just covered in oil, just absolutely covered. So the head gasket definitely wasn't working. It was almost like the head bolts had got loose somehow, and there was no pressure on it to hold the oil back. That's what I'm putting it down to, because I really can't see any other issues, and I have leaked down and tested these valves, and they're fine too. So I can't understand why the bike lost compression and why it was given the issues it was. But I am going to reseat them valves anyway, and I'm going to take down the rest of this engine and clean it all out, get all the sludge out of it and everything, and we're going to put it all back together and put fresh oil in. We're going to change all the seals for around the kickstart and gear selector and things like that, and we're going to give it a good going through. But the pistons, as you can see, bar the usual spots, are in great condition. There's no scores, there's no I can't see any reason why it would have been losing power, or the fact that it was just full of oil, and for some reason I don't know why. So I reckon the best thing to do is to just get all brand new seals for that, and brand new head gasket, and we'll go from there. We'll clean all out and we'll go from there. So that concludes my video for the day. I'm not going to do any more until I get parts and that. It's mostly going to be about cleaning. I will show you videos of me taking down the rest of this bottom end of the engine if you want me to, but you have to comment. If you don't comment, you ain't seeing the video. I'm not going to make it unless everybody's going to watch it. So you can let me know if you want to see it or not, and I'll video it if you want to see it.